Hey, everybody. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. Another video by me today. It sure looks like both the UK and the US are ready for this showdown between the Prince and Princess of Wales and the American ex royals, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The Sunday Times just released this article, which I find extremely fascinating. And the title of it, its broad title, Kate's in touch with American over 40s, but Meghan is where the money is. So immediately I'm like, huh? So let me read some of this to you because you'll equally find what their take is very interesting. So Amanda Foreman is the one that wrote this article, and she begins saying, two royal events dominated the American headlines in 1981. The first was the Great Curtsy Scandal in April, when the White House Chief of Protocol, Lenore Annenberg, was photographed curtsying to Prince Charles during his brief visit to the U.S. The idea of an American bending the knee to royalty, and English royalty no less, sent people into a frenzy of righteous indignation. There were editorials, letters, television debates, and seemingly endless outrage at the insult to American Republican values. The State Department was forced to make a statement, and Annenberg never lived it down. 3 months later, more than 14 million U.S. households either stayed up all night or got up before dawn to watch Charles and Diana's wedding. Apparently, this was a big thing back in 1981. As the French like to say, plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. The more things change, the more they stay the same. 4 decades later, Americans are still viscerally tied and eternally conflicted about the royal family. Only now, they have been joined by two players from the other side who are pumping as much oxygen as possible to keep this psychodrama alive. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex's move to California has made the volume louder, the talk trashier, and the stakes for the royal family never higher. Well, I'm embarrassed to say that it's the brash American who has caused this, and I put it out there. She has definitely hurt the royal brand. And no, that's not because she's black, but because she is selfish and so egotistical. So this writer poses some really interesting food for thought, where she continues by saying, a 2-hour chat with Oprah Winfrey turned a 70-year reign of selfless dedication and duty into a mere sideshow compared with the vital question of who said what to whom. Imagine what the Sussex's documentary series, reality show, and Harry's biography will do. With William and Kate, the new Prince and Princess of Wales, due to arrive in the U.S. on Wednesday for a 3-day trip, their first state visit since Queen Elizabeth's death, there is going to be a royal smackdown of sorts that will allow a direct peer-to-peer comparison between the working Windsors and the work-it Windsors. Wow. You know, when you think about this, you realize that the work-it royals in America are so sad and pathetic that they have to ride off the coattails of the real royalty coming into the States. That should tell you something. And, you know, if I was Catherine, man, I know that she is very poised and very graceful, but inside she's got to be saying, like, this woman is like a bad rash. You cannot get rid of her. And everywhere you turn, she's there, you know? What I find interesting is that this British newspaper or publication writes this, and it says, if you believe the British press, the Sussexes are wearing out their welcome in the US. Well, no, it's known they are getting very aggravating, even to the Americans, and this is coming from an American. Their popularity is slipping down the scale, just like each episode of Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast on the Spotify's ranking. down 76 places last week. But if that were actually true, the Sussexes would not be attending one of the most expensive charity galas in New York on December 6th to accept an award for the humanitarian work. And here is where I think there's a disconnect. Apparently, these writers in the UK don't fully understand how biased and how seedy the PR world is in the United States and what is paid for when you're actually seeing it. This is what has happened. It's not because they won it for actually doing the humanitarian work. They're winning it because they bought it, and that's it. The article continues and it says the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Foundation, named after the younger brother of President John F. Kennedy, is giving the couple the Ripple of Hope Award in recognition of their heroic fight against the royal family structural racism. Everyone knows that charity galas select their recipients with both ears and eyes focused on getting bums on the seats. It's the oldest game in town. Some charities even demand that they commit to buying a certain number of tables. There happen to be 4 other name brand recipients at the event, including the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, but they're being treated like the proverbial chopped liver compared with the excitement over having Harry and Meghan come to the East Coast. Well, let's stop that right there. No, we're not excited that they're coming. We know that this is one big PR show. Meghan bought this award in order to compete with Catherine. Plain and simple. That's my opinion, and I'm not apologetic for it. You know what I also think? I think in Meghan's warped little head that she thought perhaps if she was closer to William and Catherine, that they would want to take the time out to meet up with them. Because Boston and New York is only really like a 45-minute flight. So in her twisted little mind, she's probably thinking, well, if we go to New York a couple days earlier and your brother is there, then maybe they'll want to come and apologize to us. So we'll just make it easier for them to come to us. And let's hope that the rumors are not true, but there's a rumor flying around that Catherine is going to be the last guest on Meghan's podcast, Archetypes. Now, think about that. What would we all think if on Tuesday we hear Catherine's voice? I honestly don't know how I'm going to react, but I'm trying to set myself up that in the event if it does happen, that I don't lose my shit. So the author next goes into talking about the demographics between Princess Catherine and Prince William and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. She begins to say, while the younger branches of 2 globally famous families make common cause in New York, that same week in Boston, the John F. Kennedy Library Foundation and the Royal Foundation will jointly award 5 1 million pound Earthshot prizes to innovators in environmentalism. The Prince and Princess of Wales will be in attendance. Only 190 miles as the crow flies will separate the rival Windsor Kennedys, but it could be a million or a trillion as far as their supporters are concerned. On paper, there's no question which event will be far more important or carries more gravitas. By every possible metric, from the historic to the meaningful, the Waleses come out ahead. For sure, I agree. The Earthshot Prize has the potential to save the planet. Its prize winners are anonymous worker bees, not big shots who have made it up to the top. But to put it crudely, William and Kate are trading in yesterday's currency, leaving aside sheer sartorial glamour, where Kate is unmatched. The Waleses offer the world a fixed basket of virtues: duty, probity, discipline, decency, discretion, loyalty, and commitment. It is a worthy one, to be sure, and also totally, fatally in step with the values of the over 40 crowd, baby boomers, Generation X, and some millennials. But the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are dealers in today's currency: self actualization, self healing, self identity, self care, self expression, self confidence, and self love. Okay, I just said a mouthful. Let's break this down for a second. I really wish the author would have just have called it woke, because that's what woke is. It's all about me, 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 me. You heard everything that the Sussexes are targeting, which is this current generation and the youth. It's all about self. It's all about my feelings, my truth, my opinion. I matter. My voice matters, but not taking any consideration for anybody else. It's always about their feelings and how I feel and what I identify with. And if your idea doesn't match with mine, then you're wrong. And I think it's a very dangerous cult that Meghan and Harry have been, I want to say, almost being the face for in advocating and supporting and championing in order to make their money. And to me, I find that that's a very dangerous thing that they are going on, because they really do see themselves as these influencers. Influencers of nothing, but for whatever reason, they have this, I wouldn't say that they have this hold onto youth, but that's the target, and they are trying very hard to get them before anybody else does. It would have been nice if the author added in with when she had said that one is saving the planet, the other one is actually destroying it. Because this type of society is what's decaying society and causing us to be held back. I'm not going to lie, but I'm really disappointed in seeing America's results on this chart. To be honest, I would have expected Harry and Meghan's popularity to be much lower than what we're seeing now. They're almost at 50-50, and I don't think that that's accurate. And that's purely based off of knowing that they pay a whole bunch of people to inflate their brand and image on social media and online. So I don't necessarily think that this representation is accurate, because in the United States, we have been, I want to say, brainwashed into thinking a certain way about this couple. And if we didn't know any better, obviously would like them and think that the British royal family was racist because of the propaganda that they have been pushing out on a daily basis. I honestly don't know where this writer got the impression to write this. And she says next, the best way to understand the Sussexes' relationship with ordinary Americans is to put it in the same context as Gwyneth Paltrow and her Goop lifestyle company. Goop was valued at $250 million in 2018, having started out as a newsletter in 2008. Experts routinely criticize the company for peddling expensive tat to credulous consumers who are chasing after something called wellness. Her supporters could not care less because they don't need the products to be real. They just need them to be emotionally satisfying at the point of sale. Now, this paragraph makes absolutely no sense to me, and I don't understand where she's coming up with this reference to Goop. I'll be honest, Goop is, yes, highly expensive products, but it's only really pumped up in the really bougie cities in the United States. You've got a fan base in California and you've got a moderate fan base in New York. But can you see somebody in like Kentucky wanting to buy this stuff by Gwyneth Paltrow? No. This author has completely missed the mark here on this one. And she continues on where I completely disagree here, where she says, Harry and Meghan are selling something similar, called it me-spiration. It's not a philosophy so much as an ego massage, and it's a pure moneymaker. Netflix and Random House each have millions of dollars invested in its success. Random House is sitting pretty. Books dishing the dirt on the royal family always sell, no matter what. Netflix has more of a challenge on its hands. But an Oscar winning screenwriter who spoke to me on the condition of anonymity revealed that the streaming company regards them in the same way they do the Obamas. What? Who also have their own producing deal. The Sussexes must succeed because they are too expensive to fail. In any case, they have a star power that goes beyond the normal considerations of content or success because their brand is cross collateralized with the crown. Still, one of Netflix's flagship series, which regularly tops the streamer's viewing figures in the US. Okay, hold up. This author has this wrong because I'll tell you this right now, The Crown this season sucked, right? People are giving it downvotes. Also, not to mention the Obamas based also too off of a lot of malarkey in the sense of how they're being backed, how they're promoted. What they're failing in this article is to understand the media landscape here and what is being projected out there. Yes, they want to make you believe that they're successful, but are they going to be profitable? No. This nonsense and vacuous product that they have nothing to sell and push is not anything of substance. And this is what I don't understand and why I'm struggling to figure out where is the disconnect? Why is it that the bigger media outlets do not see that all of this is a pile of lies? All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to put the link to this article below. I am just over it right now, but I'll tell you this much. There is a lot of respect for William and Catherine coming here. And you better believe that there's going to be more fans and more to do and starstruck honest around William and Catherine than there are going to be around Harry and Meghan. I guarantee there's going to be people protesting. Already, I see a lot of people talking about going and protesting outside because it is a whole corrupt system. But anyhow, what do you guys think of this? Do you agree with my opinion here, or do you see the same thing that this writer has seen and written about? Please let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will be back more, you know it, with more content. Until then, be safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
I was such a fraud.